Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to NWO Truth Radio Mass Media. I am your host, James Impending. I am receiving the call right now. Mr. Fletcher, are you with me?
Yes.
All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as many of you probably know, if you had been to the event page or if you know Mr. Fletcher personally, you know what tonight's show is about.
And, you can go and play the devil's advocate too, and, bring in the questions that everybody else has, or maybe they'll come in the chat room or call in, whatever. We'll be able to discuss it a little bit more here.
Excellent, excellent. You know me, brother. I'm always... Hey, Steve, do you mind taking a caller?
No,
all right.
Okay. I have a question, firstly, for James.
Okay.
Is that James I'm speaking with?
Yes, I am James Impending.
Okay, I have a question. James, I consider you a brother in Christ, and I respect you guys there. I've listened to your show a number of times, and, I'm just a little concerned why you folks didn't discern this guest. It's about, you spend about maybe 1 minute on Google, and there have been numerous prophecies made by this caller that have failed. There's numerous controversies about dates that he has predicted, prophecies that he has predicted that have failed over and over. And if we're told by Paul and we're told in Timothy about false prophets and false teachings, and how many times is a false prophet allowed to be wrong? This man is nothing more than a Google search. You can see for yourself. He's made endless prophecies of dates and times and things that he has said that God has told him through something that he saw in the sun. And I'm just disappointed that you folks haven't made any attempt to discern this guest. Please explain.
Well, first, can I ask you your name, please, sir?
My name is David.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Yes, sir. As a matter of fact, I am responsible for a lot of what Mr. Fletcher here has said to put out to the world. I am quite responsible. I've taken a lot of heat for it. I believe Mr. Fletcher knows this. I am not a rapture person. I don't believe in it.
This is not an issue of rapture. This is an issue of predictions where he said, God told him he is a prophet, a declared prophet. He says that he's a prophet. Ask him now to his face. Ask him if he says that is he a prophet from God. He's going to say yes to you, and he's made numerous predictions that have failed. My question is, sir, how many times is a prophet allowed to be wrong?
Well, sir, I mean, honestly, truly, I'm not the one to answer that question. Now, you
it's your
are
show.
live with him right now.
Okay,
I'm not attacking you, folks. I'm legitimately asking a question.
I posed the question to Steve then. Steve?
Ask him if he's a prophet.
I'll ask it. Steve, are you a prophet?
Who's going to ask me the question? Wasn't she going to ask me a question?
Yeah. Hold on 1 second, David. Let him answer. I'll bring you right back in.
I haven't heard a question yet.
The question is are you a prophet, Mr. Fletcher?
Am I a prophet?
Yes, sir. That is the question. That's what the caller wants to know. He wants to know if you are a prophet from God called and anointed. I do believe that's what he means.
So what does it mean if I say yes, or what does it mean if I say no? I mean,
well,
what do you expect?
Well, it's not a question for me. Me personally, it doesn't matter to me whether you're a prophet or not. I believe that God blesses all men. We don't always get what God tries to tell us the first time. And sometimes God tells us things to see if we will do them. I mean, let's go back to Abraham. He went all the way to the point of killing his son, and then God said, wait, you don't have to do that. I just wanted to see if you would, basically. And you, sir, yourself had brought up Jonah. Jonah predicted destruction for 40 days. then it never came. And let's ask David that question. David, you are back live with us. Was Jonah a false prophet, even though Jesus had quoted calling him a prophet in his life?
If we read the texts from Steve Fletcher, what he has written, he's not Jonah. He is a man who over and over has predicted the rapture, specific dates, specific things that would happen, where he has said, ask him to his face. He still hasn't answered the question yet. Please ask him.
And that's where I have to agree with David, because David is making perfect sense. And one question was posed to Steve, and I don't mean to step on.
He asked the question. I asked him straight out.
But the question was posed to Steve, and then it became a rhetorical question, and now it's being asked of David. I think that the listeners need to hear Steve's response.
Absolutely. Let's let Steve respond. Let's let Steve respond.
Let me answer. Okay. Paul said this. Paul said that God has appointed 5 different ministries, right? Apostles, prophets, pastors,
evangelists,
teachers, and evangelists.
Yes, sir.
Right? Okay, and so young pastors, that that's their calling, right? They say, well, they're a pastor, okay, and that's their calling. Now, there's no perfect pastor. Every pastor that ministers is under the obligation to live his heart, to live his life right before the Father, and to have a humble and a contrite heart, and to do his best before God, right? And so there are prophets, and the gift that the Lord has given to me is a prophetic gift. Now, there are many things about what I have to do that are very hard to understand. They're hard for me to understand. They're hard for my family to understand. Now, there are people out there that say that I predicted rapture 25 times. I have talked about rapture on a specific date 3 times, okay? And 2 of those were hypothetical. One was an absolute. There was only one time I said absolute rapture. Once.
Absolutely. I was there.
That was January. That was January 12th. Now, all year I have a whole list of prophecies that I gave all year, and they have to do with dates. They have to do with things that the Lord was showing me, but those were not rapture prophecies. I was not making predictions. I was showing there's signs that are coming based on the date of the calendar, based on the blood moons, based on Passover, based on Tisha, based on the connections in the calendar between God's calendar.
All right, Steve, we get all that, but enough of the play-by-play. The caller asked you a simple question: are you a prophet? Yes or no? Go.
The answer. You're going to ask a question.
I got it.
You need to listen to me. You need to listen to me out, and we're not going to fight about it. Okay.
Right.
Well, there is no fighting. But there is no fighting, Steve. It was a direct question, and out of respect to the caller, David, I believe he deserves a direct answer. And we're not picking anybody. It's just that I believe that is fair. He asked a question, and then you came back with a question to him without answering his question to you, which is totally unfair.
No, I'm answering it, but I wasn't done with my answer.
No, it's a simple yes or no. That's all it is. It's simple. Are you a prophet?
Yes. There.
Okay.
Is
everybody happy now that he has answered? Is everybody okay now? Let's see. David, are you okay? He said yes.
Okay, so question number 2 is, and then I ask you, you say that you're protecting the flock here.